No, no, yeah, no, 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 yeah, no, 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 yeah, yeah, no, yeah, no, 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 yeah, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a wonderful episode of Two Beers Deep. It is 2 days after Valentine's Day. It is the second month of the year, and there's only two of us on screen, Greg. 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. You know what else comes in sixes?
What comes in sixes besides the devil, of course?
Beer. So
Oh,
you see how you look at the glass half empty, I look at it half full?
that makes sense. Although some people would say that technically alcohol is something from the devil because it's considered bad for you and it creates bad stuff to occur and it lowers our inhibitions and lowers our ability to function. So
Yeah, we call those nerds.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Although we are nerds to a degree. Well, I'm a nerd.
No.
I don't know about you. Yeah.
Do you remember the difference between, actually, yeah, true. Do you remember the difference between a nerd and a dork?
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, well, which one is he?
Daniel Jones is a dork. Actually, no, we originally, no, I think the indication was that he was either a dweeb or
Yeah.
a dork. He upgraded a little bit to like dork nerd territory, but he's still a dork.
What's up,
Nerd
satellite?
is someone that's at least cool enough that you want to be around
Yeah.
with.
Nerds are nerds because they
degree.
invest their time into something. Dorks are just fucking dorks.
Yeah. It's like Aaron Rodgers wanting to invest in being a weirdo, you know? That's considered a nerd. If you
Bean
wanna
just
go that
walked
route.
in the room with his cone on his head, dropped his toy, picked his toy back up, and left. So I don't really
I
know what's
guarantee-
going on.
You're going to get another scene from last week with like just ripped up shit all over your living room, I bet now.
Thanks for that.
What?
You're a fucking negative person.
I'm not. I'm just
The
saying, like
devil.
he doesn't like attention. He likes having attention, and you're not giving it to him, so therefore he's gonna react.
He's the you of dogs. Like everyone's like, oh, why are you so mean to him all the time? He's so cute. He's so nice. He's so sweet. He loves you. Well, because you don't see him and he's annoying and I hate him.
You don't
Oh,
deal with
so-
him on a day-to-day basis like I do.
Josh, that's
I
a
know
fair
things.
comparison, right?
That our dogs are like Greg.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, to be fair, I don't think Brody's ever done anything wrong in his entire existence. But yeah, because that sentence right there proves that he is Greg.
So we're saying more specifically that Greg is a puppy.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Killian said the guy on the right is a nerd. Shout out to Killian Votash, his first sentence.
Oh, makes sense. It makes sense. It would be
Hey,
something
Hey,
related.
Greg
to me.
is a puppy. You are a puppy.
I'm a puppy.
Yeah.
You're a golden
mean, I-
retriever
You
puppy.
need to go on walks.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
You desperately would like for us to pay attention to you.
All the time.
Yeah, that's true.
You
You
like
have to
scratch
clean out
behind
all
your
of
ears.
messes. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like when I get scratched, like my leg like kicks a little, so that makes sense. Okay.
You're joking, but that really does happen.
Yeah.
It's a nervous twitch. What can I do? Like it's hard, you know?
Mm.
Like you have one of those things that it just happens. It's a kick.
You drink beer out of a bowl and you go,
Yeah, it's not as productive as you would think, honestly. I think I need to try to use my thumbs more. I have them for a reason, you know?
you don't have thumbs, you're a puppy.
You're gonna, like,
Oh, that's
try to
right.
drink
I
beer with your thumbs.
I can test it out.
Good catch.
I can test it out if you want. Like,
Walk
that's
me
gonna
through
be interesting.
drinking beer with your thumbs, Greg.
understand.
Well, your thumbs like go like this, right? So like they connect, and then you keep your hands like that
I didn't even
almost,
think to
and
go
then
like
you
this.
and then you cup with it. So therefore, like you just go into the beer and then just directly like that, you know, like in a
I don't
scooping
know. That's
motion.
why we asked.
Like in a scooping motion, you know, like that.
Hey,
Can you
Derek,
show us?
do you want to guess where Greg's audio is coming from today?
Yeah, I think it's his headphones.
No, come on.
Tap your
seriously?
mic. Tap your headphones.
No,
God
Tap your other
the
headphone.
thing on your headphones.
Yep, there's the cord on your
God
headphones.
damn it.
It's okay. I mean,
Sounds
realistically,
good.
it's
As
not
long
that
as you're
bad.
not making big sweeping motions with your left
Yeah,
arm.
that was
This
what
one's
caught it.
getting-
Yeah. When you were showing us how you lap up beer with your thumbs touching, that's really when your mic went AWOL. What's up, Beanie?
I don't know what to tell you.
This
It's
is the
annoying.
best.
What can I say?
Listen, man, you sort it out.
What
Don't
can
put
I
my
say?
dog on a bed. I hate this.
Okay. All right. This is the best intro to Two Beers Deep maybe ever. And now I hear myself because Darren's headphones are off. Oh, good.
Figure it out.
I don't know. Stuff's just annoying, I guess.
It's okay, man.
Just don't
Life
use your left
happens.
hand to talk. Keep your left hand down.
On this
Well,
week's
thankfully-
episode of where Greg's audio's coming from.
What can I do? I don't know. This is gonna be like a recurring thing apparently. So
It's
whatever.
my favorite recurring theme.
If that's a running gag on this show now moving forward, fine. Like next week I'll have a new mic. The following week I'll have new headphones and shit. So we'll just see how it goes at that point.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, we have a fun-filled episode. Dre is driving to St. Louis, so he's going to be listening to us in the car, he said. Bo's
No
already in the chat,
commenting
so
and
kill him.
driving, asshole.
He
Just saying.
very clearly in the chat said he was a passenger, but I appreciate your
Good.
sentiment.
Yes. We don't need that on our conscience.
Fair. Let's open this show the same way we have the last 6 years of my life, gentlemen. Are we ready?
Ready,
3,
sir.
2, 1, action. Greg, we'll start with you.
So I'm drinking something actually kind of fun from 11th Hour Brewing in Lawrenceville. Burning Phoenix Jalapeno beer.
Is this the first time you've tried it? Because you've had it for a minute, right?
I've had it for a bit. I've not drank it yet. My brother got me this actually a couple
Nice.
months back, but I've had just like this mess of other beer in my fridge that I've had to go through. So I was like, you know what? I'll give this one a try tonight. So why not?
You get to go through.
Fair point. I do get to go through, and I love spicy beer, and this is delicious. Just saying.
Rank it on a scale of 1 to 6 for the devil.
Ooh. Well, the devil is very spicy, so therefore you would have to make it a 6 just by default.
That's a controversial score. Josh, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, we now have some really, 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 really big fans over at Bonds Brewing. They told. Literally, I was on the brew deck 2 days ago filming some cool shit that'll be coming out soon, and the owner walked in and goes, "So you're the guy who does the podcast?" And so that's now what I'm known as. I don't know that they know my name.
I think in 2023, that's almost like everyone now. In fairness,
Thanks, Greg.
Chip
Sorry.
said, did the show start? My TV says we'll begin shortly. Yeah, we're a show.
Now I've got to check some shit.
No, it's working on my end. That's why I was just like, I can see it clearly.
See,
I told
mine
him to
says
refresh.
it does say that the show will
Working on
begin.
my end.
No,
That's
there it
why I
is.
was
Okay,
just like,
it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
don't
said
know.
to refresh it.
All
All
right.
right. Sorry, Josh. Keep going. We have big friends. We're big friends.
Big friends. I'm drinking beer from our friends at Bonds Brewing.
beer.
Beer,
It's a thing.
because beer's good.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
If you don't like it, get the fuck out. How about that?
You don't chew Big Red, you can fucking leave. I'm drinking what I consider the best beer I've had down south. That is the Bearded Irish Home Style.
As soon as you sent the pic of the 4-pack in the group chat, I knew you were going to be in for a good show today because you were feeling good.
Controversial down here about the beer because half the population thinks it's the best. The other half hates it because it's considered the best. I think that makes
Okay. It's like the New York Yankees. You either love them or you hate them because they've been successful for so long.
it's been funny because it kind of is. Hipsters originally loved it because it was a small brewery in Nashville and it was a killer beer. Now the tide is swinging. So we will go to our hipster correspondent Josh for his POV on this. The tide is swinging that the hipsters now don't like it because it is popular. Josh, can you hear me?
Hi, Derek. We are reporting from Hipster Central in Laramie. How can I help you?
Good. Yeah. So talk to me about the controversial wishy-washy back and forth of hipster nature we're seeing in today's 2023 climate.
Yeah, not that I would know, despite the fact that I'm wearing a vintage tee and a small craft brewery's hat. I'm not a hipster per se, but I would say that most hipsters don't like things that are popular, Derek.
So what happens when a hipster likes a thing and then it becomes popular? Josh?
Oh, gosh,
what are
Derek.
we seeing?
I would say that they would riot, but that would take too much work.
And riots are cool.
so
that
yeah,
means
instead-
There's literally a song called "Let's Start a Riot," so you
Right.
would think that would like get people going in that case.
Yeah, and I think traditionally what you would see is them jump on Twitter and complain about it, but then also complain about Twitter at the same time, Derek.
Mhm.
I mean, have you seen Twitter lately? It is kind of annoying now with the, the 2 column side by side thing. Like, that's stupid. Like, let's be real.
I would also, thank you, Josh and Laramie. We respect your POV. It is now me and my anchor, Josh. Josh, let's go to our emerging technology correspondent, Greg. Greg, last show you talked about the metaverse.
One last thing, Derek.
Yes,
As they
hipster
say,
Josh and Laramie.
as they say in Lawrenceville, kill a hipster, save your hood.
Kill a hipster, save your hood. Josh, we are with our emerging technology correspondent. Greg, last show you told us about the metaverse. Today you are on Twitter?
Yes, Twitter. This one social media app that I currently have. I don't deal with any of that other bullshit, that Instagram crap that I have to take a picture on. Like, come on, who's got time for that?
Well,
like, who's gonna take pictures of shit in this world, honestly? Like, it's dumb. Unless you want to go to places like Bankrupt Bodega and get pictures and stuff done for you. But that's different. That's a different thing, obviously.
Hinge, thoughts?
Probably in terms of the dating app genres and dating app like apps that are out there, probably the most like personal ones that make you fill out everything possible and then try to see what happens and then get ghosted literally a week later on a match. So there's literally not much you can add to it, unfortunately.
A sensitive
so that's all
topic.
I got.
Excuse me. Hello? Is my mic still on?
It's off.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
What's up?
I heard technology correspondent Greg Malik talking about Hinge.
Yes, you did. Yes.
It seems that hipsters prefer Bumble.
Ooh.
But I only say that because my wife has Bumble, but she says it's for friends, but I don't believe her. Okay, thank you.
I have used Bumble for friends, and as soon as one guy said, "Hey," with an exclamation mark, I deleted the whole app.
Did it kind of throw you off a little bit, like terrify you a little bit, or
just said I can do this at a bar? Don't
Man,
want to
that's
do
fair.
that.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think Pokemon Go is the better way to go in that situation instead of Bumble BFF. Just saying.
Party bug. That's floor shit. That's 3 floor shits. All right, we got a loaded show coming at you. Wonderful intro here, guys. Josh, where are we going next?
Well, I think I'd like to tell you all about how I was right. Let me tell everybody about how I was fucking right. Not only did I accurately predict that the Chiefs would win and that the over would hit, but I even told you what it would come down to. Quarterback play and coaching.
Can I say one thing? I rewatched your clip and you lead your entire argument with, it's going to sound like I'm agreeing with Derek here, but so does that mean that I was also right?
Oh, you were also right, but do you know who was definitely fucking wrong?
Greg. On all fronts.
Okay. I was wrong on all fronts, but my curiosity is how many of your bets hit?
Oh,
great question.
So the parlay with the Chiefs and the over, and then I had fucking Kelsey to score anytime, Hurts to score anytime, and then Miles fucking Sanders just fucking shit the bed the whole
Miles Sanders is a fraud.
That does kind of suck that in all those goal line situations that they had, they did not go to Miles Sanders at all.
I would also like to say that I wanted to pick Pacheco to score anytime, and somebody told me that was a bad bet.
So I said his over on rushing yards was a bad bet. I did not say his anytime touchdown. No, he's pointing to me. I said Jerick McKinnon was going to have a big game, so I take him on the over for rushing yards.
And he did not have a big game. He was invisible.
Yeah, Pacheco was himself. I will say I had an anytime with Kenneth Gainwell and Boston Scott. If they would have scored that first touchdown, I felt good. I had a bunch of greasy touchdown parlays where I missed by like one guy here and there.
Yep.
The only thing I did hit was the touchback on the opening kickoff.
Well, and I mean, like, didn't we talk about that on this podcast that, like, there's no way they're letting anybody return the kick?
No, I mean, Dre said the one time, I don't know where he said it. No, it was a different chat. I thought he said it in our chat.
Okay.
Dre said to a bunch of guys, he hates the Pro Bowl because it eliminated the easiest bet in sports history, which is the over. The over has only hit 4 out of the last 10 Pro Bowls. So just complete fraud. Do you know what is the easiest bet in sports history? Touchback at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, you kick that thing as far, like you try to hit the person in the front
Dude,
row.
you're all hyped up. You know what it is? Genuinely, the quarterback trot in the opening drive of the Super Bowl, the camera crew's already damn near on the field. There's no way they're going to like let something happen and then have players coming off. All players are off, and then it's Patrick Mahomes coming on the field, no one else with him. That's where my head went.
So you're saying, this is adding to them the scripted nature of the NFL then, where it's almost a guarantee that the touchback will occur so that they can get that one camera shot of just whoever starting the game trotting onto the field, like dapping up everyone in the huddle and saying, all right, boys, let's get this going and shit.
You got it.
All right.
All in all, though,
I like it.
Great
Conspiracy
Super Bowl.
theories.
I thought that the offense scheme on it was terrific. I thought both teams were exactly who we thought they were. And I do want to add, I don't know if I've ever seen a quarterback like Mahomes not have a rushing attack and still be good. And what I mean by that is not a shot at Pacheco. It's a shot at the fact that he genuinely has never had an RB1.
Nope.
Right? Because Pacheco, McKinnon is great. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was terrible when they had him. They've always been this rotation thing. It's really interesting to see because Tom Brady never truly had an RB1 too, right? But he had a bunch of really strong names and a really strong rushing attack. I think Pacheco gives them an extra dynamic, which I really like. It's just interesting because it's like, and another thing is Mahomes' contract is like the 7th best right now. It's a bargain for what we consider to be.
Oh,
I
it
don't know.
is.
It's just, I could go on forever. I don't want to. They're unbelievable. It's so annoying.
Well, the rushing attack thing was actually interesting when you brought that up because that is kind of how the NFL is now assessing how to use a running back nowadays. That's just how the way that's going. I think there was I think someone posted this I saw this on Twitter, like that they showed like the last 15 Super Bowl winners and like the starting running back for each one and all that. And I think the average salary was like 1 to 2 mil per year at that case too. Like it's just now the point that like when you see guys, they're not going to give big contracts to running backs in that situation unless you're Saquon Barkley when the Giants need him. But that's a different topic altogether. Or McCaffrey, that's fair. But when I look at this Super Bowl, I love the fact, too, that first off, I don't think there's any doubt in this situation that Jalen Hurts is not a top quarterback in the NFL after this performance that he had. He had 4 touchdowns in this game that he accumulated for himself. You could have made a very serious argument that he probably came very close to winning the MVP of the Super Bowl, even if, like, he lost that game,
and Greg,
which is incredible.
Why is that not a thing in the NFL? Because it is in hockey. Right? You can win the MVP. You can win the Conn Smythe in a losing effort. Like, I thought he deserved it.
There's only one time I've ever seen it happen in the Super Bowl. There was, I believe it was Super Bowl 6. It was the Dolphins and the Cowboys. And I believe the running back for the Dolphins was the MVP in that game, and the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. I don't think it was Larry Zonka. It might have been someone else off the top of my head, but I believe that's the last time it happened. But the way the NFL is kind of set up, first of all, it's fan voting, which pisses me off. No offense.
I didn't realize that it was.
It's fan voting, yeah. Like they open up the polls, like I think in the 4th quarter and stuff. So it's kind of naturally going to occur where it's always going to be like whoever's leading that's going to get the majority of the votes. But you can make a serious argument that Jalen Hurts, and rightfully so, honestly, Jalen Hurts had a better game than Mahomes. The only difference is that Mahomes ended up winning the game. So therefore, you're naturally going to lean towards that route. But again, like I'm not necessarily mad about it, but I think we can all just agree based on what we occurred that Jalen Hurts has now kind of catapulted to one of the top quarterbacks in this league and is going to get paid during this offseason.
Okay, so I'm stunned, flabbergasted. Is that
Why?
Greg did not know a sports trivia question.
Ooh, what was it?
So who is has anybody ever won the MVP in a losing effort in the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Yes. But you were pretty far off, buddy.
Okay.
The Cowboys coming to the Cowboys in a trade with the Chicago Bears in 1961 after once having given up on his NFL career, Chuck Howley became one of the greatest outside linebackers in Cowboys history and the only player to ever win a Super Bowl MVP in a losing effort.
Chip texted me and said Jim Kick or Mercury Morris were his guesses, which are pretty good guesses considering those are both elite football names.
Yeah, because where I screwed up on what it was the Dolphins and the Cowboys, and I believe and I thought it was one of those teams like had the losing effort in that case. I just didn't remember which one. So that's on
Sid. Maybe we'll get a bean cam later. He's pissing me off.
I mean, in fairness, like I gave Josh like 4 cameras. You can easily like give one just for a bean cam. That'd be fun.
We just don't need a bean cam. We do, but we don't.
We could have one like attached to him and stuff while he's like running around your apartment and doing stuff.
That one we might need. Who are you guys surprised at all that the Eagles now lost both their OC and DC, and the Chiefs are about to lose their OC? Bieniemy is interviewing for OC positions, which to me means he just genuinely wants out. That's a parallel move and to franchises that aren't that great.
Wow. I didn't realize he was only. I thought we had teased that he was going to be the Cardinals head coach. I thought for sure.
So he's out for Cardinals, even though it wasn't. I guess when I said that the tease around that, it was more like, well, they're waiting to announce. They clearly were like, we're not doing this after the Super Bowl. It was very clearly not for him. He interviewed for the Ravens OC job, I believe.
What?
Let me double check that.
Well, it ended up going. He didn't get the job though. It ended up going to Todd Monken, who's the OC at Georgia. Yeah, he got it yesterday. So
Nice.
I believe he's new OC. But yeah, he is interviewing with Washington last time I saw. So you're right about that.
You are right on the Monken thing.
I don't know who else he's interviewing with, but I found it interesting that Andy Reid in the post Super Bowl press conference kind of made a comment about Bieniemy and was basically saying that like he needs to like be the guy to run the show and like get his own opportunity. I thought it was something with regards to the being a head coach, but maybe it really is kind of something with regards to the offense though. Because if you think about it, Andy Reid's background is an offense. So having Bieniemy, Mahomes, and Reid all together, yes, that's an elite trio that you could work with and stuff. But I would imagine that Eric Bieniemy getting an offensive coordinator job where he has to do like where there's not this like elite level talent at quarterback, or there is, but there's like less to work with and stuff. I think it would go a long way with maybe solidifying his true like head coaching experience with that regard.
Well, that's the thing is he's been shit on to get a head coach job because everyone's like, well, you just got Mahomes. So I agree. But go ahead,
Greg,
Josh.
do you think the Commanders would be a good place for him to do that?
Decent running backs. They got Scary Terry.
I think it'd
Jahan
be a perfect
Dotson.
spot.
Yeah, honestly, I think he has the weapons to work with and trying to make something work. Because I mean, their starting quarterback's gonna be Sam Howell.
Yeah, and when I said shit quarterback, and you said, yeah, seriously, you think Sam Howell's shit?
No, too early to tell.
Oh wow, Greg's a liar.
So he interviewed there today, and they're talking again on Friday. It looks like he's going to be the Commanders OC.
Him and Ron Rivera would be a great tandem, and also like Bieniemy would be like the guy for the offense too. Rivera's not going to have like any say in that offense.
They're just going to cut the punter. Like they're like, we don't need one of those. It's 4th and 15. Who fucking cares if we're on our goal line? We're going for it.
Yeah. Love that move. We can talk about some of these other ones. I see this wonderful graphic up, Josh.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the other ones. The Colts named their head coach. It is the offensive coordinator from the Eagles. I don't know his name. I don't care.
It's like Shane Steichen. Yeah, it's not. It's Shane Steichen. I think.
Jeff Saturday, and that's all I want.
You want like Jeff Saturday to be the head coach, or like
no? I don't want Jeff Saturday to ever be a head coach.
Shane Strickland. Steichen.
Steichen. Steichen.
Steichen.
So that's a big one, and I don't know. I think that the Colts, this is the first year they draft a quarterback. Obviously, I think it's going to be Stroud. I think it's going to be Young. I think it's going to be Levis, one of the three. I think they're tired of these veteran stuff there. So I don't know. I mean, personally, I thought the Eagles offense without offensive line runs itself, but I'll be interested to see how this guy does.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of when Frank Reich ended up getting the Indianapolis job. And then it was the same situation. Reich was the offensive coordinator with the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl, and he was like the primary candidate. I think where Reich got kind of screwed in that situation was the fact that I don't think Andrew Luck was like out of the league by that time, but like Reich was working with like, Philip Rivers and Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz and your boy Jacoby Brissett and stuff like that. So I don't think Reich ever had a fair chance with like a legit quarterback prospect or a legit, good quarterback to kind of work with and mold with and kind of develop along the way. So that's kind of why, like, I'm curious how he does in Carolina. But with Indy's a situation that baffles me, because me and you have talked for so long about how much we like Chris Ballard and stuff. But man, I look at this team. They have a solid running game. O-line's okay outside of Quentin Nelson. I don't think the receivers are that great. Tight ends aren't really much. And I look at that defense. Shaq Leonard was injured for most of the year. And aside from that, they had almost no pass rush. And the secondary is like, So, like,
yeah, they got Gilmore. They got Hooker. It's just not good, right? I mean,
yeah, like I kind of have to rethink my thoughts on like Ballard at this point too, because like I would have expected this team to be way more competitive than they actually are.
Yeah, that's the point I was going to make here. So let's, Kwity Paye, great. DeForest Buckner, they trade for, great. Yannick Ngakoue had a bad year. He'll be up free agency. Shaq Leonard, great. Bobby Arike, great. Kenny Moore, great. All these guys, right? These guys that are actual guys in the NFL, actual names. My problem is that is the most winnable division in football because of the simple fact that everybody can be really bad. I love Derrick Henry, but he's the only thing the Titans have. Their defense is atrocious outside of Jeffrey Simmons. That's what I say all the time. To not be competitive in that division when the Jags turn it around with Dougie Fresh, it's just gross. They should have done so much better this year, even though they had Matt Ryan. Jonathan Taylor was terrible. Injuries, obviously. Alec Pierce looked pretty good. So I don't disagree with your wide receiver take. They're kind of trash cans, but it's just, you got to do something different, man.
At this point, I can't figure out what else it would be other than the fact that like they really need to develop a quarterback in some way. I don't know who it's going to be. It's going to be kind of like a guess at this point about who they actually prefer at that case. Although I did find funny how like Jim Irsay is kind of like pushing the needle and like poking the bear, pun intended in that one, literally, about wanting to trade with the Bears in some case. Yep. So we'll see how that goes.
Another quality coach landing spot here, as you mentioned him before, Frank Reich. Frank Reich heads down to
Carolina.
Carolina. Thank you. Lord in heaven, I couldn't think of that to save my life. Do you think the Carolina Panthers under Frank Reich are about to take a quarterback at 9, and why are they going to take Anthony Richardson?
I really hate that you said that because that's literally what I was thinking. But it's the obvious situation. But what I am going to say, I think Frank Reich ended up in the best situation out of all 5 openings in terms of competing right now.
Okay.
Here's why. That defense is excellent. They have so many guys on that defense that I think are great young players that are developing in this case. Brian Burns, Jeremy Chin. I like these are guys that, and then
JC Horn.
JC Horn, I mean, was healthy last year and looked very good when he was healthy. So I really like this defense. And I look at that offense. When they moved to a running game under Steve Wilkes, I think they actually like solidified themselves a little better, and they were able to kind of at least have some semblance of an offense. I think the key for Carolina is getting a veteran quarterback and then drafting your guy and have him sit for a while. And everything that you read about is always talking about Anthony Richardson, how in terms of he's the most athletic quarterback in this class, but he's clearly the one who is not ready yet. So that was the other thing with Frank Reich had in Indianapolis. He did not have a guy. He did not have a true quarterback that you can look at as a franchise to be the one to take your team to the next level. This is something I think that's going to be big for him in that situation. But I'm talking about in terms of competing right now, I think it's Carolina. That situation.
Gotta watch flail in your arms there.
Sorry.
And there goes the microphone again, just in complete hell.
Sorry.
Agreed with every word you said outside of the hand waving. Don't say sorry. They got Derek Brown. They got Brian Burns, Jeremy Chin. Yeah, it's a good team. Yetur Gross-Matos. Agreed. Interesting to say they're the best place, but also that is a very winnable division in football.
Oh, extremely. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with Tampa Bay. Atlanta is like still not fully back yet, and New Orleans
they're about to be.
And New Orleans still has a good defense, in my opinion, and is most likely the landing spot for Derek Carr. So we'll see how that offense looks after this case. But I think Reich's in a very good situation with Carolina to make some noise in that case. So that's why I'm kind of like of the 5, he's probably the one that I would say landed in the best situation.
I'm still of the camp that Lamar Jackson will be a Falcon. So
it's the most popular. I'll give you that, but I would be intrigued to see what would happen to get him to go there, to say the least.
Other head coaching spots. So the Houston Texans come in. For me personally, I think this is always one of the sexy landing spots. I like D'Amico Ryans a lot. It's never sexy actually, but it's always like my favorite team to play in Madden franchise because I'm like, I'm going to turn them around and get rid of all their good players and stuff. I think D'Amico Ryans is the guy for that team. I'm really, really interested to see what happens there.
I completely forgot that he played for the Texans too.
He had a lawsuit against them or something.
Was it like an injury related thing or something? Because
I'm going to Google it.
But I remember him getting drafted by the Texans too, which is the thing that I find crazy to think about in that case. And you would think after like the history that's been going on with Houston about how just underwhelming they've been over the last few years, I'm surprised he would want that job. But I think he's looking at it as this is like the clearest example of a blank slate of the 5 jobs that you had to work with. So maybe he's trying to think about it from the perspective of I can mold this team into what I want. And in terms of guys that you're going to retain and keep, aside from Derek Stingley, who else is like really untouchable at this case? Not many guys, honestly, that I can think of.
I think Laramie Tunsil's untouchable for them. They have a lot invested in him. I do think they make him the highest because here's the
one
thing,
of the
Greg.
worst trades in NFL history at this rate, honestly.
Yeah, up there. Agreed. But when you bring in a young quarterback, you need to have him protected. So I think that it makes perfect sense to have him there. They also have
2 first-round draft picks.
Yeah, 2 very quality placed. Yeah.
Yep.
You got to hit on them both. This is going to turn into a draft day type thing. They need to see some movement there for them. Yeah, a lot of coaches, a lot of changes, a lot of coaches carousels. I think that, I don't know, man. We'll see who else. What are the other coaches we missed here?
The other 2 were Jonathan Gannon with Arizona.
Yeah, that's a weird one to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because of the placement or is it because of the guy getting the job? Because I would have thought if anyone from Philadelphia was going to get a head coaching opportunity, it'd be Gannon.
Yeah, no, it's the placement for me. I don't love Arizona's roster at all, and I thought they would want to bring in somebody on the offensive side because they have a lot invested in Kyler Murray. That was my only thought.
You know what's funny, Deke, and I think about this a lot. I remember in a group chat that we were in, you made the comment about Isaiah Simmons making a play in a game once, and I forgot he was on the roster at the time, and then it started making me think back. When was the last time Arizona was ever known for defense?
Not even when we played them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
Kurt Warner and Larry Fitzgerald.
Yep.
So realistically, I can appreciate this hire simply for the fact that like Arizona has never once prioritized defense in their long running. No matter how many athletes they draft to like play on defense and try to like put like a square peg in a round hole and just stay there, run around and make something happen. They've never had structure with regards to that. So
yeah.
And also think about this too. Kyler Murray's recovering from a torn ACL. So like he might not even be healthy until halfway through the year. So maybe the other idea is this is probably looking at as a wash anyway. So let's kind of like see how we can develop everything around him and then kind of go from there with developing an offense. So
I agree with that. I think so some of the notable names pull up the roster. Obviously JJ retires, so that sucks. They have
he's a Steelers fan now, so that's shout out. We need more people in Steelers Nation.
They have Byron Murphy, they have Budda Baker, and they have Isaiah Simmons. Zach Allen's a name, Rashard Lawrence a name. Offense, though, you have to assume they're moving DeAndre Hopkins for picks. I would be floored if Hopkins wasn't moved before the draft.
I saw today, and I don't know if you saw this too, but apparently because of his PED suspension, his no trade clause was essentially waived.
No way.
Yeah, that was a clause in his contract that apparently that he can now like be traded because of that.
The only team he's not going to go to, it was voided. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn. He's definitely not going to the Patriots. That's where I thought he would land.
Why wouldn't he go to the Patriots?
You think he's going to? Well, I guess now it doesn't matter, but you think he's going to play under a Bill O'Brien team?
Oh, I
Nope.
forgot he's the new OC. Never
That was why
mind.
the no trade clause made sense.
Never
'Cause
mind.
It's like he's never going to allow, even if they trade him there, you think he's going to catch a ball for Mac Jones under Bill O'Brien's O?
I mean, if Bill Belichick could like maybe sweet talk him or something like that, I could see that. But you're right. Like Bill O'Brien made one of the worst trades like ever because of that. So yeah, I can't blame him for that. But then again, Bill O'Brien should have never been a general manager. Like, let's be clear
No,
about
that's
that.
fair. Some of the popular landing spots I've seen are Tennessee Titans, which I think it makes a lot of sense when you think about what the Titans need, but they also need someone who can get him the ball. I think he would be electric, and he would help Traylon Burks not be a Traylon bust. I'm still on that train, Greg.
That was a good.
It's a rookie
Thank you.
season. Rookie season. I'm letting it slide.
George Pickens had a better year, right?
That's fair. He did. That's fair. I'll give you that.
So I'm interested to see where Hopkins goes. I think he gets moved for one of those mid-round picks. I don't know who has the cap for his contract or what would happen there.
I'd love to see him in Chicago. Love to see him in Chicago. Give a true
Chicago's
number
too
one
high.
with.
But if they trade down, you know what I mean, Josh? If they get into that cycle of if they trade with the Colts for the 4 and then they don't love Jalen Carter and they trade down with the Panthers to beat the Raiders for Will Levis or something, and they trade down to 9, they'll get enough to make it happen. But that's a very fucking good point. They're not going to give up Jalen Carter straight up for him. Something would have to happen.
And their salary cap situation is crazy deep that they could afford it to.
Let me give you 4 scenarios.
Okay.
Green Bay. You have a friend named Raf Fawa.
Yeah.
Raf.
Yeah.
He said, yes, sir, Josh.
That is one of our punters for the Wyoming football team. What's up, Ralph?
Get out. Oh, that's sick. What's up, brother? All right, go.
Okay, so Green Bay at 15. If Rodgers stays, that's a fucking gem for him. Eric Bieniemy would love to have him in Washington if that's where he goes. They have the 16th pick.
Even if he doesn't stay, they could get Jordan Love help.
Exactly true.
So
yeah,
and then the Chargers are at 21.
They might lose Keenan Allen due to cap casualties, so that'd be an interesting.
And then
that would suck.
My favorite pick, and this might turn into there's only one ball situation, but the Detroit Lions at 18.
You know what? a trio of Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and DeAndre Hopkins would be stupid.
You say there's only one ball, but there are no Robins, only Batman on the Eagles. I think that's a good one.
Oh, there you go.
Bueno says, Ralph, bro, what's your longest punt, you jagoff? Shut up, Bueno. I want Bueno to get ass kicked one day.
Is Bueno allowed to say jagoff? Like, Bueno doesn't have the right to say jagoff. Yeah, that's some bullshit.
No, these are good landing spots, Josh. I think those the Commanders one, I think they need to get their quarterback before they do it, but it makes all the sense in the world because I love Scary Terry and I love Dotson. I think Taylor Heineke's cute. He's like the Girl Scout that sold cookies out of a weed store. It's like, yeah, that's a good little idea, little Girl Scout. Like you did really good today that one time.
Yeah.
I hate saying
you were in the right place, right situation. You know, it just worked out, and everyone loves him. So it's just you can't beat it.
Facts. Anything else on coaching carousel, Goyish?
I think the one that we didn't discuss and is the one that I think is just going to be an absolute mess, just for the fact the amount of capital that was given up for both of these guys. I have nothing wrong with Sean Payton being a head coach in Denver. I think he can get them to at least 500 or like around 500. But I think he could. But
I'm going to ask some questions after this take.
But I think if anything was taught this past season, it's that Russ being the guy that runs the show is clearly not something that works well at all. So
yeah.
It's and by the way, I don't know if you guys saw this or anything, but like during like Super Bowl like week during the press run, like Sean Payton was like trying to sweet talk Josh Jacobs to trying to sign with Denver to get him on his team.
That was cool.
I don't know if that's collusion or not or anything, but that'd be fun. Just saying.
Well, you had that, and then Brandon Marshall asking the week of the Super Bowl asking Andy Reid if he needs a receiver.
Brandon Marshall could still go. I bet
he could.
I bet you he could. Yeah.
I think the interesting thing about the Denver situation is they had to get Sean Payton, right? So if I'm the Saints, I'm saying, yeah, we went 7 first because You can't invest that much. I mean, the whole breakdown. Nathaniel Hackett comes. They're like, we got Rodgers. Can't get Rodgers. Panic. Get the next best quarterback on the market. Russ.
Carr.
Find out that basically Russ is Russell Wilson. Yeah,
Sorry.
my bad. No, you're good, bud. Find out that Russ is a Pete Carroll child. He can't do anything on his own. He is virtually useless with a football outside of that system. They invested too much money and picks and stock in that. And if anybody ever does high knees on any airplane I'm ever on, I'll crash the plane. I think that personally,
was so dumb.
They invested that much because they had to, because they already had invested too much. It's like buying a Lamborghini and then being mad you got a flat tire. It's like, well, this tire is going to cost $7,000, but I need to do it. I paid for the really expensive toy. Right. I don't think Sean Payton's going to fail. It's just been really long without him there. And I'm interested because they got rid of Bradley Chubb, so they're not win now, but they are still win now because they bring in this coach. They're in a really gross situation in the best division in sports.
And they have no draft capital to like help either. So this is just going to be a mess.
Who's a better division than the Chargers, who we all obsessed with, the Raiders, who we're all obsessed with all the time with Devontae Adams, the Chiefs, who just proved that literally nothing matters.
I'm pretty sure that, and you said in sports.
I did.
Okay.
Because I don't believe in divisions in other sports. I'm inclusive.
They don't exist. That's true.
I'm pretty sure that the Lightning, the Bruins, and the Leafs are all in the same division.
There's like, how many teams are in one division in hockey?
6 to 5.
No, 7 or 8.
I guess now 30. With 32, yeah.
You are the worst hockey guy I've ever met.
That's right, baby. You don't forget it.
No.
I think we're blinded by basketball in fairness, because basketball divisions like shouldn't exist. I don't know why they're still a thing, but
they're like, oh, we won the Pacific Conference. What the fuck does that mean?
The Bucks hang a banner every year, and I'm like, what division? What did
we do?
Who's in our division exactly?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's just for the Clippers when they move to their new arena to make sure they have something to hang, since the last 60 years have been nothing for them. So
they got nothing. Oh yeah, Bueno went to a Kraken game, Josh.
Ooh.
How are the
Did he spell Kraken right? Did he spell Kraken right?
Had to.
The Kraken.
Kraken are actually doing really well, actually.
They are. They're in playoff
second in their division.
Are they going to go to the? Is this their first year?
Second.
Okay, never mind. I was going to say, are they going to the Cup?
So
Every
they didn't
team instantly gets my Cup money. So
they didn't have the Vegas Golden Knight run, but at least like they were smart, and now they're building a team that can
functioning
compete.
Members of society.
Well,
yes.
Yeah, and they're third in their division. They're technically tied with the Kings, but the Kings are red fucking hot. So,
all right. Yeah. That is the coaching carousel.
I thought you were gonna say that's hockey talkie.
Well, I mean,
that is hockey talkie. What do we got?
Okay, do you want to talk about QBs or you want to go to the XFL? We kind of talked about QBs a little bit.
Let's go to QBs since we touched on it a little bit, and that might take us to our wonderful commercial announcement.
Do you want to do XFL or do you need a pee break?
Well, I was saying, let's do wide receivers.
Okay.
Or quarterbacks.
Okay.
Did you say wide receivers?
Quarterbacks. This is quarterback carousel.
Where did I come up with wide receivers?
I don't know.
I think
are there a lot of wide receivers that are available?
No.
Okay.
We were talking about D-Hop a lot, so I think your mind's just like in that gutter.
Baseball basis. It's no, Josh. Sterling Shepard got cut, and that was big news. That's how bad the wide receiver market is right now.
That is big.
Quarterback carousel.
But Kenny Galladay still has a job, so go figure.
Let's go. I'm just going to go from left to right on this graphic, and we'll talk about it. Sam Darnold. I think he's the starter week 1 for the Panthers.
Ooh.
I can't imagine where else he would be in that situation. So, yeah, I'd kind of have to agree with you. And also because I think he was stable in Carolina.
He was good towards the end of the year.
Yeah. And then if you think about it too, like I also pointed out, like Carolina, like ran the ball a lot. So that was kind of their play to be able to stay competitive. And they were in play to win the division till the very end. So at least like something kind of works out. But I still think there's something with Sam Darnold that is at least serviceable enough for him.
Josh?
I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't know. Like,
he was serviceable as the Jets quarterback, right? But he never was good enough. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, like, I don't know. Like, it's the same fucking thing. And Greg just talked about how Carolina is probably the best situation to go into, but then you're talking about how Carolina is going to draft a quarterback. Like, sure, if he's under contract, you might as well fucking keep him.
Well, I think he's a
And he
free
was also-
agent. I think they'd have
I
to
think he is
re-sign him.
too.
Yeah.
And he was also serviceable with Adam Gase as his quarterback,
But
as his coach and stuff, you know?
yeah, so there's Sam Darnold and Patrick Mahomes, Peyton Manning, both with Adam Gase. My thing about Sam Darnold is I don't see a team kicking on the tires for him to be a starter. I see the Panthers getting it's not a hometown discount, it's we're the only team that wants you discount. So I think that'll be interesting. But I also could see, because the next guy on here is there, I could see Sam Darnold going to the Rams as the backup in the off chance that Stafford gets hurt again with that elite team, because the next guy here is Baker Mayfield, who is a free agent also.
So you're saying like he gets the Mitch Trubisky treatment where
Yes.
like you know,
Well, no.
draft pedigree goes somewhere where there's an elite guy like
Oh, you mean
Witty,
Buffalo.
like
Yeah.
the Buffalo situation, and then like try to rebuild his like, you know, work under like another offensive genius or something. Say he gets a level of experience and then maybe go back into the free agent market after.
Yeah,
that fact.
I mean, look, man, Matt Stafford didn't look good. He had massive surgery. Realistically talking here, I don't believe Matt Stafford has many years of football left. I believe we fell in love with him at Detroit. We saw him win a Super Bowl. Last year was terrible for everyone to watch. That Rams team is about to explode like the housing bubble. I don't know why McVay's back. Aaron Donald's about to retire. They're getting rid of Ramsey. They have no draft capital. That team, for me, feels like a bad spot, but a bad spot that they might go, hey, Sam, like Stafford's the guy. We don't know what's going to happen with him. We need a guy that's going to come in, eat shit for a year, and then prepare to be the starter moving forward. It just feels like Sam Darnold's a safe contract and a decent talent in the league.
Yeah, and I mean, there are worse places to be in than, even if you're on a bad franchise, there are worse places to be than, as Josh likes to say, LA, if you will. So, I mean, I've heard him say it multiple times.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
so it's his thing. Yeah, but no, I think, and in fairness too, I'd rather have him as my backup than John Wofford. So,
well, then let's move over to the next guy, Baker.
I really want Baker to be a starting quarterback in the XFL or the USFL so bad, but if not, then I expect him to be on like Fox's Big Noon Kickoff show probably within a year.
Wow. You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding. No.
You don't think he looked good enough on the Rams last year to garnish at least a backup spot? When you got some jagoffs out there, Greg. You have guys that cannot actually play quarterback as the backup because they can hold the clipboard.
I understand though, but that was just one of the weirdest situations we've ever seen. Like the guy literally was like playing pickup football in the dirt and then had one incredible game against a Raiders defense that absolutely just dropped the ball in that case. And then after that, it was like, meh, you know.
Let me ask
nothing
you a
else to
question.
report from. Go ahead.
Baker Mayfield, Colt McCoy.
Good luck with that, Greg.
I would say if I'm going stability, I'm going Colt McCoy. But if I'm going for someone that I think could at least try to win a game, it's probably Baker.
Baker Mayfield or Chad Henne? Here's what I'll say. Patrick Mahomes went down in that Super Bowl. I want Baker Mayfield over Chad Henne in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Chad Henne, by the way, like retired officially with 2 Super Bowl rings and barely played a game. And he said it's backup quarterback is the best job in the world. And I agree with that. But yeah, Baker.
Baker Mayfield or Case Keenum?
Didn't they already make this decision? Didn't that happen?
So,
well, Case Keenum was his backup. It was his backup, actually. Yeah. So that's funny.
Technically.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Baker. Sure.
You know what I'm getting at?
I'm eating my words. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'd take Baker over Mitch.
Sure.
Since I'd take Baker over Mitch and Skuldent. Bueno said, Greg, you're wild. I don't think you're that far off, Greg. I believe that Baker Mayfield is going to go down, and Bueno's going to hate this. I ain't a Baker stan, but he's a lot better than most second strings. Yeah, but that's the difference. So what Bueno's alluding to and what I was kind of getting at is talent level. The other thing that backups need to be able to do, and it's the reason that Josh Dobbs was our fourth quarterback and still on the sidelines, backup quarterbacks need to be prepared to show the starter what they did wrong. Backup quarterbacks need to be prepared to help the starter prepare. Backup quarterbacks need all these things, right? Baker's ego wouldn't let him do that. Baker's not holding the clipboard for Matt Stafford and saying, hey, Matt, you missed this because of this and this and this and this and this.
I wouldn't even trust Baker to tell me what I did wrong, honestly, if I was Matt Stafford.
Fair. Unless he was like, you didn't get it. You got caught by the police, because I also did. The bigger point, though, is like, if you want a talent guy, Baker's better than most backups. If you want a backup quarterback, there's a reason the Chiefs run with Chad Henne. Yeah. There just is. He's a great backup. It's a reason that Scott Tolzerian, who was the backup for the Colts?
Scott Tolzien. Tolzien, yeah.
Thank you.
Wisconsin
Dude was
guy,
a potato. He was literally worthless. He was the backup there for that entire time, and then luck goes down. They win 2 games. I could have done better. Yeah. It's interesting.
I mean, it explains why the McCown brothers were in the league for so long when you think about it.
Like
there's a market for them. Like I think that's fair. If you have a starting quarterback that kind of falls on hard times, you maybe don't want him as a backup, because I think there is a specific role that a backup quarterback plays instead of someone that had starter time and is now reverting to that, because I think there's like an ego check that you have to go through in that situation that maybe some guys just aren't willing to do.
I would say one guy that I would like as a backup quarterback that's on the bottom of that screen is Matt Stafford. Or not Matt Stafford.
Matt Ryan.
No. Who's the fucking guy? Sam Darnold.
Oh. Okay, so we're looking at the bottom of the screen here. I'm going to list off guys that are on the bottom of the screen that I think are backups. Because let's be clear, Aaron Rodgers, not a backup.
No.
And we'll decide who we like more, because I think that there's some interesting ones on the tail end. Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield?
As a backup, Sam Darnold.
As a backup to Kenny Pickett right now?
Yep, Sam Darnold.
Oh, Sam Darnold.
Same. Sam Darnold or Zach Wilson?
Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold or Jimmy Garoppolo?
Jimmy.
But he's probably going to be this is one on the line.
Right.
It's very close, but Jimmy G, just for the fact that he's been both, so it wouldn't be an issue.
Sam Darnold or Jameis Winston?
Sam Darnold.
Darnold, yeah.
That one's tough for me because of Winston's upside, but at some point I need to stop saying he has great upside. At some point I gotta look at it.
The man has gray in his beard. Like, when we?
Yeah.
Have you had enough?
The 30 for 30 season was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's terrifying to think about. Yeah.
He hasn't eaten a W in quite a while,
No. He stole crab legs when crabs were alive. Now they're all just creatures in the ocean. Sam Darnold, I'm going to skip Derek Carr out of respect.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, Matt Ryan. Which is crazy considering the fact that you said, if I want someone as a backup, they're on the bottom of the screen, I want Matt Stafford. And I said Matt Ryan, and you said no.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Sam Darnold, just because for the fact Matt Ryan has never been a backup in this league.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, yeah, so I would say Sam Darnold, because Matt Ryan essentially last year in Indianapolis kind of showed why he really needs to retire. The mobility is just not there.
I'm also taking Sam Darnold for the upside. If I want someone to mentor Kenny Pickett, it's Matt Ryan. It's not even close. If I want someone, if Kenny Pickett goes down, it's Sam Darnold. Right. And then the last one, Sam Darnold or Ryan Tannehill?
Sam
Darnold.
Yeah, Tanny for me, man. His resurgence in Tennessee was amazing. Like, genuinely amazing.
You know what it was? It's those stem cells in that Swiss bank account that he was able to get a hold of, probably, that helped.
It was he drank enough Bud Lights on Broadway to be like, I can do this.
Absolutely, yeah.
I can do this.
Hot ass wife helped too, so there's that.
So let's go through some of these names for landing spots, because that was a fun exercise. Zach Wilson. Is he done with the Jets? Does he have a landing spot? Would you guys, if you are the new coach for any of these teams, a brand new coach, Josh, you seem to want to take him. Is it one of the?
You're way too excited for this. I can't wait to see this.
Okay, so the Jets are the Jets. The Jets will always ruin everything perfect. There are two, maybe
Zach
three.
Wilson is perfect.
I was going to say what?
There may be 2 or 3 former Jets quarterbacks on the bottom of the screen. 2 for sure.
Sam Darnold,
Sam
Zach
Darnold.
Wilson.
Okay, 2. So
Yes, that
there's
is it.
there's 2 former starting quarterbacks for the Jets on
Former
the bottom
top
of the screen.
5 draft picks.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the difference between Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson is that Zach Wilson's getting out soon enough that maybe he can be a reclamation project. And on the bottom of the screen, as far as like upside goes that you may not have to pay for, he's probably your best bet. You're going to pay out the ass for Lamar. You're going to pay out the ass for Aaron. If you're going for Jimmy, you're going to have to pay a pretty penny for that. Same with Carr. This kid has upside, could still potentially become something. And if you're the Ravens and you're looking at a Zach Wilson,
Ooh.
that's not a bad comparison to the fact that he has wheels and has a big arm but doesn't know what to do with it. Like, I could see that being something.
I don't hate that because you consider his athletic ability and the upside. I'm aggressively accepting Tyler Huntley over Zach Wilson.
Okay.
I don't think you're terribly off-putting, and I think that's a sexy location. And I think that gets them closer to their Super Bowl team than Tyler Huntley in terms of the ability to throw deep. Tyler Huntley's a great athlete. He throws the slants really well. He has been able to read pressure extremely well for who he is. Zach Wilson, just a different quarterback than Tyler Huntley. It just comes down to money at that point for me, but I don't hate that at all.
My concern with that take, Josh, is that if he goes from New York to Baltimore, he's getting a massive drop in terms of the offensive talent around him.
Is he?
I would say so.
Who's the massive offensive talent for the Jets?
I would say Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson.
Well, and well, don't so you can't add Breece Hall, in my opinion.
Why not?
Well, because Zach Wilson sucked last year and he got hurt. Like in terms of, you're talking about if Zach Wilson's the starter next year versus if he's a starter in Baltimore next year. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry. No, keep going.
No, like I'm thinking about this. Like, what did Lamar have to work with in Baltimore? Like in terms of like pass catching, he had Mark Andrews, sure. But aside from that, the receivers.
No, for sure.
Like,
Sammy Watkins, Duvernay.
There's not that much to work
Hollywood
with.
Brown.
He was in Arizona.
Well, now he is. Yeah. You said
But-
who did Lamar have to work with? He did
Okay,
work
I'm
with
so-
Hollywood Brown.
I'm sorry, I'm
We're
comparing
getting
like
tongue-tied.
my bad. I'm talking about like situations that he'd be going to, and man, there's this
What
like
about Bateman?
Bateman. I'm annoyed with at this point with him. He's been in the league for 3 years, and like I see the talent, and he just hasn't done shit. So like I can't.
Wait,
What?
3 years?
I think 3. It's either 2 or 3. I thought it was 3.
He was drafted in 21.
Okay, so 2 years. My
Yeah.
bad.
No, you're fine. I was like, damn, that feels like a really long time.
Also,
Yeah.
can we like also
Go ahead.
like fucking is John Harbaugh not a factor in your decision? He made Tyler Falco look like a fucking god. He turned Lamar Jackson into Lamar Jackson. Like, yes,
Tyler
he had the
Falco.
pedigree and the athletic ability, but it was John Harbaugh that made him the
Uh,
free agent that he is now.
It was John Harbaugh's ability to change his offense to let Lamar's strengths show.
But
that
that's what
made-
he's willing to do for his starting quarterbacks.
Let me
That's-
ask you, what has that got him?
Two Super Bowls.
Switching to Lamar's play style.
Oh,
You know,
Well,
I'm sorry. That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I don't think he changed much to make Joe Flacco work. I think
No.
Joe Flacco had one of the best years we've ever seen at a quarterback position. That run was electric.
Him and Carson
Lamar-
Wentz. That's about it.
Yeah.
Capped off with McDonald's, baby. Can't go wrong with that.
The Lamar, they took him because they knew who he was and changed everything about their offense to reflect that.
Sure.
Zach Wilson's not that.
I
So-
know, but I trust John Harbaugh over a lot of these landing spots, which are also going to have new coaches. I would take the future Hall of Famer in a heartbeat.
I don't hate that take, Josh. My only concern with that is looking at the way that they're set up right now. They just hired a new offensive coordinator, Tom Monken from Georgia. We have an idea of how he ran his offense in Georgia. Transitioning to the pro game is going to be something like that. You look at then the pieces he has around him.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty decent offensive line. I'll give them that. You have a good pass catcher in Mark Andrews. Your running backs are. I mean, J.K. Dobbins was finally healthy this year, so like I'll give him a pass on that one. And receivers, if they stay healthy, maybe I'll give you that. But there's still something to be said about the fact that, like, I think there comes a time when you have to look at the guy and at least maybe get the understanding of if there's something to be said about them. Because if you look at Zach Wilson's situation, Bud, there's something to be said that the entire team essentially mutinied on him, essentially, and made it so they wanted the backup. And that was a talented New York Jets team.
Is Zach Wilson better than Stetson Bennett? Yes or no? Right now. You two both said he's undraftable.
Stetson Bennett?
Yeah.
No, he's 5th round.
You did not. Oh, go into the fucking text messages.
Go ahead.
You did not. You said that he was undraftable.
I said he's a bitch.
I remember reading something saying that, like, if I was the XFL, I would throw a shit ton of money at Stetson Bennett to be the face of my league and stuff, which would be interesting if that was.
We don't even have any text about Stetson Bennett. Let me try Stetson.
Or just put Georgia in.
Georgia, or UGA, if you will. Make sure that case. But
no text about that.
I would say, Josh, Stetson Bennett.
Stetson Bennett.
I mean, you know what's funny? Stetson Bennett's older than Zach Wilson, which is terrifying to think about. Just saying on that one. But
I'm just saying. I think OC.
It's Zach Wilson.
John Harbaugh. You give them raw talent. Maybe that's the best situation on the bottom of the screen for future growth, which also getting a boost now.
Does Zach Wilson need the Mitch Trubisky treatment of getting like a backup role to humble him?
I know what he needs. Zach Wilson needs a Mormon.
He needs to go back to BYU, eat a cougar tail, get his shit straight.
There is one team with a coach who is Mormon. That team just lost their backup quarterback. That team's main quarterback was a loose comp for Zach Wilson's pro day, circa Zach Wilson, Kansas City Chiefs.
That offense would work very well based on that. And
Andy Reid's Mormon?
He went to BYU. He's Mormon-esque.
Okay, sure.
He's Mormon. He's Mormon.
I mean, I would have never guessed him as a Mormon, but hey, go figure in that
Mormons
case.
Can eat cheeseburgers.
A lot of cheeseburgers, that's true. And wear Hawaiian shirts.
Guys, let's take a quick commercial break.
A 3-minute and some odd second commercial break.
All right. We're going to, I kind of want to just have the show run, go to the bathroom and come back for it. All right. We're going to take a 3-minute and some odd second commercial break. We'll be right back with 2 Beers Deep.
Hello. Welcome to By the Slice, a look into different types of pizza. Why am I the one giving this presentation? This is me, host of Pittsburgh Famous Pizza Review Show. Tried over 100 pizzas in 2 years. I'd like to see you do that without getting fat, okay? All right, first up, Neapolitan, the original gangster. This guy came over from Italy. He started the whole thing, okay? Here's how you tell what... Stupid clicker. All right, here we go. Neapolitan is also known as a margarita. Some of you may know that. Typically topped with fresh mozzarella, tomatoes, basil leaves, oregano, olive oil. Mwah, right? You got traditional Neapolitan pizza is cooked in a wood-burning oven. That's important. Not everybody cooks theirs in wood burners. That's how you know you're eating a shitty Neapolitan pizza if it's not in a fucking wood burner, all right? Now I'm in Boston. I don't know where that came from. It's baked between 800 and 1,000 degrees for a short period of time. We're talking seconds, not a minute. You leave that in, it's going to get too crusty. We want that to be chewy and soft when we bite into it, okay? That's Neapolitan. If you have questions, go fuck yourself. This is me eating a Neapolitan. Too late, it moved on. New York style. Large foldable slice, okay? Crispy outer crust. This pizza is meant to be topped with whatever the heart desires, okay? Often, condiments, if you're a real New Yorker, all right, you're going to put oregano, red pepper flakes, Parmesan, garlic powder, all on top of this thing, okay? Look at me, Hobby Horse, pizza. Deep dish pizza. Chicago's famous pizza pie. Not a pizza pie. Look at that thing. That's a nice saucy pie. Okay, Sicilian, the hidden gem of pizzas. This is my favorite kind of pizza, okay? Sicilians are commonly known as square pies. Thick crust with pillowy dough and robust tomato sauce. Cheese is placed under the sauce to keep it from getting soggy. Sicilian immigrants came over in the Second World War. They said, we don't like your soggy pizza. We're putting the sauce on top. California pizza. Some of you may have heard of this. This is not pizza. Regional variants. Okay, this is local flavors. There's a bunch of different people say they make different types of pizza, but there's 4 famous types of pizza that are known throughout the world. First off, this is McKee's Rocks, Pittsburgh. If you don't know about McKee's Rocks, you ain't from the burg, okay? This is Doughboys. Look at that bad boy right there. I'm salivating and looking at it. All right, so the dough in Pittsburgh tends to stack higher than the Steelers' offensive line, and it's got so much cheese that a Packer fan can be happy with it. All right, it's typically baked in a shallow, round pan that has, like it's covered in oil, covered in olive oil, and you know what? It sits in there for like 30 to 40 minutes. It's fine. It's great. You'll love it. This is thicker than in New York. Not as thick as those crazy people that's standing on the river in Chicago, okay? This is much better. You're going to want this. When you go to Doughboys, you tell them I sent you, they're going to hook you up. All right, this is my top 10 pizzas all time. If you have any questions, you're never going to try these if you don't leave this stupid little town, but that's fine. Betos, we saw Bubba's, and Shelley's. If you're in Pittsburgh and you got time for one pie, I want you to go all the way down to Turtle Creek and you're going to get yourself a Shelley's pie. All right? That's your presentation on pie.
Hey!
I was trying to listen to the top 10 and we came back and I know there's a delay. Oh man, Bueno said, what the fuck am I watching? Sid said that Johnny Depp Amber Heard trials. All right, guys, we're gonna end the show 10 minutes early to respectfully understand that Josh is chasing his goals or some bullshit. So we're gonna jump into our draft. We are gonna draft our. Is it just just the NBA All-Star game? Correct. Not Rising Stars. Not
correct.
We're gonna draft our NBA All-Star game. That's gonna happen right before the NBA All-Star. So we're gonna spend the next half of the show on it. It's the grease for me, Bueno. So shut up, Bueno. Josh, walk us through the segment.
Okay, cool. So first, we got to run our running backs to see who drafts first, second, and third. And then all of the available players in the NBA All-Star game can be drafted. We're drafting 9 players each. Are you ready to race the running backs?
I'm ready as I will ever be.
Am.
Okay. They've started. All right, and first one out of the box. Oh, 3, 2, 1. First one out of the box is Josh. I'm doing great in this Raiders uniform. Oh, I'm doing better in a Packers uniform. I'm leaving everybody in the
Josh first, Josh.
Dust.
Josh first, Josh.
Josh is. Oh, I'm on the 10, baby. It's fucking over. I win in a landslide. I'm 1.
Look at you with that 4-2 speed.
Who will finish 2? Oh, Derek's coming up on Greg fast, but Greg has 2 runners. Greg is second, and Derek is going to be third.
Cool.
Okay.
And did we decide last week? I know it's great. Last week that we just did 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or did we go serpentine?
We serpentined.
I'm cool with.
We did serpentine, yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna say I am cool with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 this time if we want to.
Yeah, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah, let's switch it up. I'm comfortable at the third spot with doing that. I wanted to wait till a time for the third spot to make that happen, so let's do it.
All right. So who do we think Josh is drafting with his first pick? This is tough. There's so many great options. It's literally an all-star.
And I'll get why it was fixed, yeah.
And and with the first overall pick, the young man from Greece, the man who I'm okay with getting a little freaky with, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
On the screen is 1 through 9, which is totally fine.
Yes.
Are we putting them at a position? Do you know?
I say no.
Okay.
Because literally the All-Star game is just whatever makes sense.
Greg has a very clear strategy, and I'm excited for whatever he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Did you feel that, Josh? I say no.
Absolutely not, sir.
Shut up.
By the way, real quick, Josh, thoughts on Giannis's trademarking stuff with the freak crazy. And the E and the 4 and stuff like that. It's weird.
No,
isn't it?
he's well, because he's the Greek freak, and his shoes are called the Freak.
Well, and it's his number.
Yeah, the 34. Like, what do you
Yeah.
like? That's
I'm
the
with you,
nickname
Greg. They're
he was
weird
given.
trademarks.
They're weird trademarks, man.
Like,
Just
I'm a
saying.
freaky boy. That's just a weird.
It is.
Wasn't that one of them?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think you're being dramatic.
it's
It's a great first pick, though.
Greg, shut up and pick.
all right. I'm gonna be lame, and I'm just gonna take the other guy who's a captain in the All-Star game. Give
LeBron
me
James.
LeBron James.
LeBron
Thank you for not
James.
making me take LeBron James, Greg.
Yeah, don't worry. I wouldn't hold that. I wouldn't make you do that. That'd be awful.
LeBron James.
Yeah, I'm not. a fan of
LeBron
that.
James.
All right, Deke.
All right, I this one is somewhat tough, but I think it's a no-brainer. Give me Steph Curry.
I think that's fair.
And by the way, we are drafting based on like, regardless of, like, we're assuming everyone's
If
healthy.
you
so, like,
say,
that's
"Oh my
kinda
God,"
like-
if you, Josh, I thought he was going to say regardless of position, and I was going to smack him. Yes, everyone is everyone is healthy.
yeah.
Ooh. Damn.
The fourth pick.
It is.
He's struggling. I love this.
I think I want Luca.
Yeah, that was who I was
Okay,
thinking. It was
okay.
between him and Curry for me, Josh. That's a great pick.
I think, there was so much talk a couple of years ago about one of them getting traded to the other one and what a force they would be. I'd like to see the two of them hoop it up. So, Greg.
That's a great pick.
I keep hearing on TV all the time about they haven't played each other since like 2019. But for me, I just think this would be fun to see them on the same team. Give me Kevin Durant.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to go both those guys. So great picks there, guys. Got Steph. Shooting's great. Point guard great. I do need a little size, a
He's
little
still
body.
doing positions.
Oh no, I am.
You can't
I'm
make
100.
him not do positions.
Give me drafted in the second round during a Subway commercial, back-to-back MVP. Give me the Joker, Nikola Jokic.
I was seeing something today, by the way, which threw me off about how he could potentially win his third straight MVP this year. And I was like,
At a certain
they-
point, you got to do something in the playoffs for me.
yeah,
Greg.
it's weird, you know? Like
I
we-
get it's a
we don't-
regular season award, but and he's averaging another goddamn triple-double. But
Is it weird to kind of think that the MVP for the NBA is kind of like the weakest when you think about it?
I think
Nowadays,
it's, here's what I'll say. Jordan deserved more MVPs. LeBron deserves more MVPs. Kobe deserved more MVPs. It's a he did well this year award, but when they find a guy like Joker, they stick with that guy. You know what I mean? Like Harden
Right.
got his, Russ got his, KD got his, blah, blah, blah. They're giving it to Joker because it's like you just can't stop him. But at the same time, that's not a formula to win the final, but it's a regular season award. So, Josh.
Let me finish up my backcourt, John Morant.
damn, that's what I was gonna go for.
It's a great pick. I think Jaw's
Yeah.
great.
Solid pick, man.
See, you're also doing positions.
Yeah, well, because you are, but Greg isn't. So
Always.
the
Here's
graphic
the
will
thing,
look great.
Josh, when I get into an argument about it, I'm going to say, well, I have a position team.
I'm just
So all
following
my
your
guys.
lead.
If Greg takes 5 power forwards, they're not all going to be on the court at the same time. It's just math.
No, I'm not, because this next pick, I'm gonna like throw people off because it's a guy who's polarizing with both of the guys I just took. Give me Kyrie.
Yep. You have the worst team in terms of actual. The LeBron pandering pick has to show up soon, Brett said.
I love
There
it.
it is.
I love it.
That's
love
a
it.
good one. No, I was
It's
going
the
to go
dream
Kyrie there.
scenario. The dream scenario that both of them wanted. I'm simply hoping for the best in this situation. So
No, It's a great
we'll
pick.
see what happens.
I'm going to round out so that no one else can have him, basically, is my approach here. Give me Joel.
Yeah, okay.
Solid.
Brett
that's
said, there
fair.
it is.
Okay. I am going to pick a center so that I can play Giannis at the power forward. Give me
Good call.
Zion.
I think that's a great pick because they can both move
Mm.
between 4 and 5.
Yep.
Healthy, he's a freak.
Greg.
I'm very interested in this pick for Greg.
There's a couple options I could go with, but I'm gonna add.
Stop stealing my picks, please.
But I'm gonna go Jason Tatum.
Stop stealing my fucking picks, guys. God damn it.
I'm gonna go Jason Tatum. I think that's gonna be a fun pairing with the rest of them. So yeah, why not?
That's a good pick. I was gonna take Tatum for my 3. But I'll move down. Recently moved teams. Been absolutely killing it in Cleveland. Give me Donovan Mitchell.
I was hoping to get him on the wraparound, but that's a good call.
I'll put him at the 2 guard. Him and Steph together. Jokic, Joel. I'm feeling good.
I'm trying to spell.
You're good. You can just put Spida if you want. SPIDA. Okay.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay, so I need a 3. Or is Jaw
Yes.
a 3?
No, Jaw's a 1.
Jaw's a 1.
Yeah, Jaw's 100% a 1.
You got a 1, a 2, a 4, and a 5 right now. But Zion, I mean, you could swing a lot of these guys. Don't stress yourself. Giannis can play the freaking 3.
Well, Giannis plays 1 sometimes. It just depends on the offense they're running.
Yeah, no kidding.
Facts.
DeRozan would be interesting, no?
Great mid-range guy, honestly.
Sure.
At the 3?
He's a 2-3.
Well, what's
He's a
Anthony
2-3.
Edwards, though?
Anthony Edwards is a 2-3.
A
He's a
2-3.
shooting guard, small forward. Yeah.
Give me
I'd say
Anthony Edwards.
They're basically the same.
Right.
Ooh. I thought I'd get him kind of later, but yeah, I like that.
I'm cool with Ant going there because I love the human Anthony Edwards.
Right.
I didn't want to take him early. That's a great pick, though, Josh.
Cool. That's my
He's
starting
one of-
5.
He's one of the few like one and done guys in the last few years that I would say has drastically lived up to his potential.
Sure.
Absolutely, in that case.
That was such a weird class.
Yeah, that is true.
Greg.
For me, I'm going to add a little more shooting to this team, so give me Dame Lillard.
Dame went so late. It's not even
Yeah, well, it's because his voting was terrible. So we're looking at the top of these lists.
True.
I mean, he's not having a great year. He's still Dame Lillard, but
He's still Dame, yeah. He can still drop from half court, and it wouldn't be a big deal, honestly.
My thing
just
for
'cause people
Dame is
think of it.
it's so sad to say he's got to leave Portland.
Yeah. Well, we didn't talk about it during the trade deadline, but did Portland just fucking give up?
Basically,
They just yeah, sorry, Dame, we don't fucking care.
yeah.
Is there
We're
an
getting draft picks.
equivalent of a guy that has stayed in a situation for far too long and probably has kind of screwed himself out of being a champion or anything just out of loyalty? There has to
Dan
be.
Marino. No.
No.
Yeah. No, I would say Paul
That's-
George in Indy, even though he did leave, his peak was in Indy. I'd say, I mean, screwed himself out of a title was the tough part there. I think when you look
I could
at
throw
guys-
Reggie Miller in that situation.
Reggie Miller's a good
Absolutely.
name for that one. I mean, Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
But that's why I didn't want to go that old, Greg, because that's a different era. Reggie Miller's still a different era where guys didn't super team it. They demanded people to come to them. Jordan
That's true.
didn't go to Rodman.
Yeah.
Rodman came, you know what I mean? That type of stuff. So for me and these newer age guys, Dame's a dying breed of people that have some loyalty to their actual franchise. Another one might be Joker.
Yep. Or Luca or Joel.
Joel's a
mean-
really good one too.
Yeah, the interesting one though is that at least I think those teams have kind of done a better job of building around them. At least
That's fair.
because
That's fair.
with Dame, there's been one time that he went to a Western Conference final and he got swept,
Yep.
or at least if he didn't get swept, it was 5 games at least. So it's just one of those things that they realized that the pairing with him and CJ wasn't working. I like Anthony Simmons. I think he's solid,
He's
but
okay.
but in terms of that, Portland really needs to add more talent in that
Agreed.
situation. See how that goes.
I'm gonna close out my starting 5 here. Give me Jimmy Butler.
I don't think Jimmy Butler made it, buddy.
He absolutely did. I'm looking at the UT final fan returns for the Western Conference. Isn't it? Oh, that's final fan votes.
Yeah, he's not on this list.
All right, let's look. I'm sorry. I was
Bam
looking at
made
the-
it from the Heat.
Gotcha. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right one. Western Conference voting results. Okay, my bad. I was looking at the final fan votes.
You're good.
Jimmy Butler's on here too. What the fuck? He really didn't?
The graphic
Yeah.
that Greg sent me, Jimmy Butler is not on it.
Yeah, I sent. It's the player pool that was like officially from the NBA, like from the NBA's like Twitter account too.
I
I
wonder
know
if
I'm
the
on
NBA
the I'm on the
even knows who's-
NBA I'm on the NBA PR Twitter is the list I pulled. I apologize. Let me get an actual list here.
Check the group chat. That's the one I'm using.
I know I'm trying to look at one on the desktop,
Oh.
but I'll pull that. I'm not even gonna pretend because I know exactly what I need. Greg, when did you send that earlier today? This is great for all the listeners and everybody.
I know everybody's
That's-
on it.
Oh,
I
got
sent it.
Okay.
I sent it yesterday. Yeah,
This is everybody? Yeah, I guess this is everybody, huh?
yeah. That's why when I looked at it and I saw 27, I was like, oh, perfect. We can have 9 each.
No, you're fine. Give me. I mean, I don't hate him. Yeah. Ah, he's so ugly. I don't
We're-
like his face.
This is an incredible podcast.
Wait,
I
you're
just
basing
hate
it
his
on the face? I
Yes.
Okay.
Shut up, Greg. I agree. I hate your face too.
Which is hilarious because you wanted Jimmy Butler, who legit has a big face.
He's pretty.
Big face coffee coming at you to a city near
He,
you.
he does really have a big face. Give me Domantas Sabonis, small forward.
Oh, okay. I like that.
He's become a really good NBA player. He's not anything more than just a really, really, really good player.
He
Okay,
developed
apologies
slowly
there.
in Indiana, and then now he's actually on a team that's competing in Sacramento. So
Yep.
I give him that. Yeah.
I fell in love with this guy watching him beat LeBron on the night that he broke the record. SGA, baby.
I was surprised
Okay.
when you said, "Who am I taking first?" I was like, "I know it's Giannis," but you said
I love SGA. I love him.
he didn't make it. The interview where they asked him about it was funny. Brett, I got to watch that because I was looking at the NBA PR, but that was 110% after I looked the fan voting. So my bad, guys.
You're good. Greg.
This one's gonna come back to bite me because I know Dika is gonna have some fun stuff to say. But give me Jaylen Brown.
I remember Brett
Do you remember
sitting
something?
next to
Go
me-
ahead.
sitting
Go
next
ahead.
to Greg when the Celtics Jaylen Brown, and he said that is the reach of the century. He's
He
just
was
an
6'10".
athlete. He'll never be like a good player.
It
And
was
you
6'10",
were like,
we were
yeah.
drunk. So yeah.
We were, but also I Jaylen Brown has become a very solid NBA. He's an all-star. He's
Yes.
not a monster. He's not a superstar. All-star. So my ability to shit talk you, Greg, is probably not worthy of Jaylen Brown's play. But the fact that you said he was going to be terrible, and he's been, I would say he's lived up to his draft stock.
And what's crazy about that is, like, that was the Lonzo Ball draft, and we were looking at that as kind of like,
Creepy.
and in fairness, that entire draft class is weird because the first pick was Markelle Fultz, and that didn't work out well. The second
Yes.
pick was Lonzo Ball. Jury's still out if like he will. I think he'll have a productive NBA career, but I don't know about number 2 overall stature. Jaylen Brown has lived up to his stature so far. So that's like, of all the people, I would have not expected him to be in the top 3, the guy that like ends up actually
Yep.
doing well from that. Because after the top 2, there was so much unknown.
Agreed.
Way too much unknown.
Up again. I'm gonna go with.
You're not up. Oh, yeah, you are. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Also,
Yeah, because I took Jaylen Brown.
yeah, give me. So there is still a starter technically available. I'm avoiding that. I need a scorer if I want to take Steph and Donovan Mitchell out. A guy that's really been amazing this year, Tyrese Halliburton. 41 points the other night, 3-point
damn, I was
competition
hoping to get him.
favorite. Give me Tyrese.
I was hoping to get him on the back end. That's a good pick.
I'm glad I can steal picks from you, despite you guys both picking all of my picks.
Don't blame us because we know our shit. I'm sorry.
Well, I
Wow.
didn't even know.
He just
what
said I knew
roster
my
we were looking
shit.
at.
Did you
do,
hear
You're
that?
doing really good.
Did you hear that? He said that I was doing well. Wow.
You have a
Keep it-
very young team, Josh.
Wow.
Like Giannis is your oldest guy right now.
Not for long. He's his teammate, so give me
Oh.
Drew Holiday.
I expected you to take Drew Holiday too, which makes it even better.
It's a good pick.
It's a good 2, right? For the backup squad, it's a good 2.
You want Giannis to be as comfortable as possible, is how I'll word it.
Absolutely.
Give him his buddy.
I don't think that's his buddy, to be fair, but yes. If we were giving his buddy, Brooks Lopez would be the second pick.
Fair.
He's the best player in the NBA. Greg.
I'm gonna add a little more guard play to my team. Give me De'Aaron Fox. He'll be the fastest guy on my team. In fairness, actually,
The best clip ever is when Luca goes, "Look, I'm Fox. I'm Fox," and he's running down the court on the outside lane.
I forgot about that.
Look, I'm Fox. I'm Fox. That's a great pick, Greg. Because I think that although I have the two best big men in the game, they both are true centers. Sabonis can play power, but I want to take the last starter. Give me Lauri Markkanen. Having a great year with Indiana. The Pacers really have a great young core. Originally in Chicago. Shout out, Brett.
I was so mad about the Chicago thing. When he was drafted, I thought for sure he was going to be like in that same mold as Dirk, and then he just underachieved. Goes to Cleveland.
I thought he was Kristaps Porzingis light. I wasn't a big fan.
That's fair, because Kristaps was like the guy that was looked at as like the next Dirk. You know, European, tall, lanky, can shoot and stuff like that.
Yep.
The backup squad is really big about defense. Bam Adebayo.
It's a good pick. He's a solid pick.
We're shut down and we're
It's
playing
ugly,
shutdown basketball in the All-Star game.
Your bench is an ugly all-star team because nobody plays defense.
What are you talking about? Nobody plays. Oh, yeah, in the All-Star game.
Yes,
I was like, what do you mean? Ayo, like I have defense. It's only defense. Okay. Fun. Greg.
Pick,
I'm trying to think.
I know.
Looking at my options available, I doubt I will, but like looking at my options available, I'm gonna add a little more scoring touch. Give me Paul George.
Yeah.
Perfect. I don't want him. If Paul George doesn't break his leg for Team USA, he is going down to the Hall of Fame. No questions asked. I think that was tough for him.
Yeah.
Watching LeBron at the Heat go up against that Indiana Pacers team might be my favorite. No real rooting. Obviously, I hate LeBron. No real rooting NBA moment ever. Like the 3 series that they truly went at it, and it was Roy Hibbert and that whole team. I think that was what made me fall in love with Paul George.
Roy Hibbert literally crashed and burned before our eyes because
he
of
forgot
that
how
series.
to play basketball, man.
Completely
David West,
forgot.
George
Completely
Hill,
forgot.
Grant Hill, excuse me.
Lance Stevenson.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. I have 2 guys I want, and it comes down to who's going to be the last pick.
Yeah.
For me, yeah, I think this guy's going to be the last pick over the other one. Give me the guy that I think you guys should take over the other one. Give me Julius Randle.
Okay.
Okay.
A confirmed bucket. And Josh, the best player on the New York Knicks.
Yes, absolutely.
I texted the group, and Josh, I think you would appreciate more than anything. I do believe we are closer to South Park than ever. We have a slight continuation between episodes for the first time in 2 Beers Deep history.
It's very, very slight. We're not PC principal level, but
we're
it's
not
slight.
PC principal level, but there is continuation between Greg's emerging platform knowledge and our conversations about the New York Knicks.
Yeah, literally.
Give me DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, that was that. So
Great-
when you
great
had said him
mid-range game.
earlier, I was like, he's really gonna fall to me in the last round.
Yep.
Like, that's a good pick, Josh.
Yep.
A walking bucket in the house that, as Brett says, LeBron built. Brett used to live across from the Bulls arena in an apartment, and he would just send me Snapchats, be like, the house LeBron built all the time.
Yeah, Yep, that's what I'd call that place.
Shout out the United Center, which is also where the Blackhawks play.
Facts.
But I'm going to close out my all-star team, and if I'm had to pick between the 2, give me Pascal Siakam.
Damn. Greg has left me with the optimal position of trying to figure out who is left.
Would you like me to help you?
No, I got it. It's actually the guy that I was debating between him and Julius Randle.
Oh, well, good.
So give me Jaren Jackson. I like Jaren Jackson a lot. I thought about him over Sabonis, but I really wanted somebody that can score. Jaren Jackson can score, obviously, but a freak athlete. Yeah, I'm happy. Brett, if you had to pick one of these teams off the cuff, because you're still in the chat, who you picking?
How has Jaren Jackson Jr. not tried to like trademark like J3 or JJJ or J cubed or something like that? Like that's just bad planning on his part.
I'm just saying that the oops that you're going to get from my team between Giannis Morant and Anthony Edwards and Zion, like, come on. We are playing above the fucking rim. We do not shoot the 3. We're just fucking yamming.
The best is
So
that
you're-
you meant alley oops, and I thought you were saying oops.
Oh no!
Like
Giannis like turns the ball over. He's like, "Oops,
oopsie poopsie.
oops,
If
sorry,
Zion
Drew."
plays, I'm taking LSAS. There you go, Josh.
That's right, baby.
Zion
I
plays,
won
okay.
an NBA thing. Woohoo!
Well, for Brett, who says that Chicago is the house that LeBron built. So however you want to approve
It's a
that
little
one
bit,
in your
a
grade.
little backwards, but hey, I mean, you're in the GOAT category, I guess, so it counts.
All right, so we've got like 20 minutes left. Would you guys like to hear my very deep analysis on XFL team rosters, or B, would you two like to wax poetic about Tiger?
I
Ooh, this is tough.
almost want to throw in a C.
Ooh, okay. Well, I don't have
Okay,
a graphic for a C, so knock
You
yourself
do.
out.
You
Ooh,
do.
Hey,
You do.
Okay.
you have
And
a
we
graphic for a
do
C?
Another draft.
Oh, you want to do another
Oh.
draft?
I'm just saying we have the categories, we have the time. We were worried about topics. I know Tiger's back, but he finished under one today. Not a lot. Like I know they were texting the group chat. Not too much there. XFL for me, we still got time to talk about. I want to make sure we're out the door at the right time, Josh. This
don't
feels
care.
like an appropriate 20-minute segment, and we have it primed and ready. I don't
Okay.
know. It doesn't have to be what we do, guys. I'm not a dictator. I'm a dick. That means that I open up to the world.
Okay.
And you do enjoy taters, actually, so it kind
I
of evens
love
out, actually.
some taters.
Yeah, so
I
it
am.
works out.
Well, we don't have to just do
Nope,
that.
you're good.
Josh.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
I'm literally putting
God.
them in now. So
Come on, periodic table.
Oh, the periodic table is going to be electric if we end up getting that one.
okay, and then
What's up, Bean?
all right, here we go. Let me get the full screen back up here. All right, full
If-
screen is back.
If we end up with periodic table, we have to make it a thing that we're not allowed to look at our phones either.
Oh, 100%. I'll hold my
if you
hands
look
up the
at your
whole
phone,
time.
I'll punch you in the face. All right, ready? Starting.
Through the camera. Okay. I like it.
3,
I like it.
2, 1. First one out of the box. Childhood Toys is leading. Non-craft beers is close. Brand
I want
mascots. Oh,
non-craft
Childhood
beers.
Toys is running away with this
Oh,
thing.
no.
Oh,
It's
man.
way out in front. Periodic Elements coming in late. Periodic. Oh, I don't know. Oh, Childhood Toys 1, Periodic Elements 2. It
So
was like
close.
literally like glitched.
Oh,
itself.
so close.
Okay. And then Worthless Pokemon doing what it should do and just delaying the finish. Thank you, Worthless Pokemon. All right.
I like worthless Pokemon because I feel like some people are going to get super.
Some people are going to
Offended.
get hurt.
Some people are
That's
going to
what's
get
gonna
offended.
Yeah.
All right,
For
so we got childhood
sure.
toys. So I do want to. So all these categories, just to say for podcasters and for anybody that watches this, it's just stuff. I mean, Greg and I, we've been drafting since episode 1. Greg, we started a second show. Josh, obviously, as soon as he came on, draft in there. Drafting is great. Every podcast does it. We do not trademark claim it. It's just super, super fun. So I think that the essence of childhood toys, guy, is a combination of things. One, there are childhood toys that are extremely like hardcore branded. This is the only thing. 2, childhood toys can also be like a generic, this is what I played with as a child type
Yeah,
of thing.
sure. Absolutely.
Fair,
There's no, don't want to get too crazy with it, but I think that childhood toys for us all growing up, I'm 30, Greg is 31, Josh is 32. Is that
Yep.
real?
That's correct.
Yeah.
We were 90s babies, and we are you running it for the
Absolutely.
order?
Yeah.
I thought you just did it for shits and giggles that you were just running it again, Josh.
Yeah, no.
We're 90s babies, and 90s had the best toys. So
Greg,
Oh,
Josh,
not
Deke
even
is the
close.
order.
Yeah.
Greg, Josh, Deke.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable. Whatever you guys want to do, Serpentine or 1 to 3.
I liked the 1 to 3. Give me time to think.
That's fair.
I
like
agree.
it.
The double wrap is good, but also bad.
Right. Greg, you're first.
Mine should be very obvious. It is my love. It's something that is tattooed on me, and it is something that I will take to my grave for as long as I can remember. It is Power Ranger action figures.
Oh
It
Is
is.
that
it
not
is
what
my-
you thought?
no, I'm
Oh, wow.
sorry.
Okay.
It is-
There is a very clear thing I grew up with that when he said tattooed on him, he has multiple tattoos that fit this category.
Mhm.
Not really.
But-
You don't think?
No.
We will talk
Well,
about
that's
that
a-
after the show.
Yeah, there's actually like I have three that probably fit this category,
Yes.
but the one is the one that I distinctly remember. The other two I'm hoping to get on the wraparound, so we'll see. But
Fair.
yes, that is my number one right there that I fondly remember growing up with because I went out of my way to get these. I remember Christmases getting these. I remember preschool doing these at show and tell with them.
I also
So
wasn't allowed to
I
watch
love
Power
them.
Rangers growing up. My
Okay.
mom thought I'd beat the shit out of Nico,
Wow.
which is fair.
But you were a Street Sharks kid though, so that counts.
That's not real. That's a shark, so it made a very big difference apparently.
Sharks are real though.
Not combat fighting mutant sharks, Greg.
I still just love the fact that your mom
Shark
was worried about
attack!
the little brother beating up the big brother.
I weighed a lot more my whole life.
yeah.
It makes sense as I fill up my 4th pounder.
If I take a video game, do I have to take the system as well?
So this is childhood toys.
So we're
To
saying
me-
no video games.
No. I think the system is the toy. I don't
Yeah,
think the
I-
game-
no.
So I think the system, but also this is up for debate. For me, I was thinking system. Let me close this
Yeah.
door real quick. Bean just found out how to open doors like a fucking T-Rex.
When did Bean get thumbs? Apparently, interesting. I
The
told
same
you
time
thumbs
that you
were a thing.
died.
I know. I told you. Circling back, baby. I love it. There is a storyline of 2 Beers Deep. Son of a bitch. I say system because for me, when I'm thinking of childhood, there's a very distinct system that I would consider taking
Okay.
for
I'm
childhood.
sorry, guys.
For childhood,
What'd you do?
I said system because I do think that there's a specific system I would take from my childhood just for
Yeah,
like yeah.
I'm cool with games. I was going into this thinking system.
Okay. N64 done.
Yes, exactly.
Ah, good call.
Okay.
Good call. Good
Sweet.
call.
Easy done.
To me, Josh, that is there's one other system I grew up with. The N64 is the pick.
Right. Okay, Derek.
I have like 3.
Yeah, I know. Right. I'm like, where was
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I'm gonna go with Tamagotchi.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with Tamagotchi. I mean, that was Digimon before Digimon. That was every game that we just mindlessly play nowadays. It was Nintendogs before Nintendogs. It was Animal Crossing before Animal Crossing. Give me the Tamagotchi. Raise your little monster.
I don't think I actually ever had a Tamagotchi. honestly.
Really? Oh,
Yeah. I didn't get into it when it first came out, honestly.
To me, it made all the sense in the world. You want to shake it, you feed your little shithead, he evolves.
Mhm. I do appreciate that because that's something I never got into, and I do know people that were interested in it. I did not know you were a
Yeah.
Tamagotchi kid. That's cool.
Oh yeah. Loved it.
Okay. Okay, so my second pick
Well,
is
I have a question for you.
go ahead.
Are you only picking your tattoos?
No.
Okay,
There's legit reasoning behind it, but yes, the other one was something that is somewhat related to that, and it is I've also been shout out to my cousin who has gotten me addicted to going to toy shows now for some of this,
Yep.
but I collect some of them for the vintage ones, and I still have a box upstairs of them. Pro wrestling figures.
Fuck you.
Like,
So
Okay.
that
Yeah,
was the
like,
number one
yeah.
I played with growing up. When I said that when you said your tattoo, I was like, oh, cool. He's taking like I remember playing with Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan
Yeah.
bendable figures.
Yes. Yeah. So and I've told Josh this before, but like I have like the Hasbro, some of the Hasbro figures from the 80s when those came out and stuff. And I'm now considering like buying more of them to see. And it's bad because it's an addiction. And I blame my cousin for getting me onto this, but
Yep.
but we'll see on that case. So
I wasn't allowed to watch
yeah.
wrestling either because I'd beat the shit out of Nico, but I had
Yes.
the toys.
boy, I'm learning shit about Nico that like I feel like should not be the case in here.
Okay. I can't believe that I'm getting this at the second round. Pokemon cards, you fucking pigeons. That's so easy. It's so easy. Is this an old person thing? Is that what you're gonna say? That I'm like literally?
No.
Okay, all
to
right.
me, the pick that I'm about to make was the real reason I was in love with Pokemon.
Okay.
A lot of my friends never actually played the card game, Josh. So growing
Sure.
up, it was just about collecting, whereas I was a
Correct.
player.
Yeah, I actually didn't
That's
play the
an-
card
that's-
game. I collected too. Yeah.
Pokemon cards deserves to be a top 3 pick. It
Okay.
should not have missed the first
Okay.
round.
All right.
I just didn't play with them. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't either. I just collected them, but I
Okay,
mean,
well that's
that
fine
was,
then. Dude, did you ever play it though? They had the marbles and it was hip. Oh, I was
Yes.
obsessed. I had the mat. Nobody wanted to play. It was so annoying.
Yeah,
I
I've
honestly-
never played.
I
But
never
still
played
collect.
the game either. Yeah,
Fair.
yeah. I'm the same way. Like I collected, but I never played the game. Yeah.
Dude, playing was great. There was coin flipping, it was a lot of shit. Yeah, so the pick, so Sid said in the chat, Game Boy Color. I'm taking Game Boy.
Okay.
Ah, damn.
Pokemon I remember at Christmas, like my parents gave me Super Mario Brothers, the game, and I was like, "Wait, it was no, it wasn't from them. I'm so sorry. It was from Santa because my mom was like, why would Santa get you the game when you don't have the thing?" Then we go to my family party. My grandma got it, so she hit up Santa and was like, "Yo, you get the game, I'll get the device." Playing something in my hands changed my life.
Were you I don't remember asking you this, but were you a red, blue, or yellow?
Red.
Okay.
Nico was blue, I was red, and then we both got yellow. And then I was
Okay.
silver, he was gold. And then I was ruby, he was sapphire.
Got you. I was yellow, especially for the fact when I realized that like you had the connector that you can put on the N64 and play the game on your
Yes.
TV through Pokemon Stadium.
And
that
the,
was like
the Pikachu
woo!
Surf was sick.
Yes.
Mm.
True.
Yes.
Greg, you're up.
Oh, hey Bean. What's going on, bud? He looks happy.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
He is.
Mm-hmm. That's good. All right. So since this was now put into the universe, I can now put this in here. I don't think Josh has much of an attachment to this, but I know Deke does. Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
I
Yes,
was
okay.
wondering if those
Yes.
would be taken.
Mhm.
Are they childhood is like the big
Yes.
thing, but they
It's
are.
like it's very much like borderline for me because like Yu-Gi-Oh I got into when I was around like
I was in elementary
10?
school
yeah, I was like 10 or
when it hit
11,
its
I'd
stride,
say.
yeah.
Yeah, and I remember bringing like the tin of cards to
Yes.
school with me.
I had a Yu-Gi-Oh
So-
birthday party. We went and saw the movie. Like
Oh, dude, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh was.
I
was
still
the
play
jam.
with the Moorheads. There's a website you can. The funny thing is, Austin, that line piece of shit, he Googles decks because I'm like, dude, you look this up. He has like the ocean deck. I have my literal deck at my parents' house on the website, and I go
Mm.
play people. And one guy messaged me trying to talk shit. He was like, dude, what are you doing? And I said, this is literally my childhood deck. I'm 29. This is just fun. And the guy said, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. That's awesome. Although I do remember like watching you play the simulator, and I remember like some Jagoff having like just playing like dragon after dragon after dragon like against you and stuff, and you were just like, "Fuck this, I'm done." It was like a bot that like
it
was
was-
like playing
yeah,
like
dude.
legendary shit.
Yeah, it was just like, look, like if you want to prepare your entire deck to be YouTube perfect, fine, whatever. To me, I was just like, let's go. Okay, so I'm up for my. Oh no, Josh, you're up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Ah,
Can I ask what is it? The action figures?
Everything. Like, can I
Okay,
just take
totally
all of
fine.
it?
Yes.
Do any of
absolutely
you
Go ahead.
can.
Any like?
No.
I'll take the comic books. I'll take the video games. I'll take the action figures. I'll take the fucking posters. I'll like.
No,
There-
take it.
There's
So-
a character on this fucking content company that wears a Ninja Turtles mask. It's not me. It's somebody in a Ninja Turtles mask. But like,
Casey Jones.
you know, I mean, like, there's
Yep.
a thing. Like
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
my thing. Like that.
No, I
I
think
will
that's
have
a
a
great
Ninja
pick.
Turtle tattoo before I'm dead. So
A top
Yeah.
5, which this might actually, this is my replacement draft. I think a top 5 arcade game.
oh, Turtles in Time. Yeah.
yeah. You know what's interesting? Like with the Ninja Turtles, I don't know if it was because of like. I don't know if it was like when I was like in that like realm of like growing up or something, but like I knew the Ninja Turtles were kind of like late 80s, early 90s. My first introduction to the Turtles was the movie, and I
Yes. And,
loved it.
Mine was the chick,
Loved
and I
it.
was like, do I want to have sex with a female turtle right now?
Oh, Venus? Oh my
You
God.
would know her name, you horny fuck.
And this is where
Sorry, I
that
forgot
2-year
shit.
gap is so fucking huge.
Massive, dude. Josh is like, I just wanted to have sex with the lion and Lion King. I didn't know about
That's right.
turtles.
That's right.
All right, I'm up next, and I'm
Yes.
gonna go with Pogs.
Pogs is a good one.
Pogs
is a good one.
That's
We had
good.
tubes
That's
on
good.
Tubes on tubes, and I never knew there was a game until I got older. That was the thing I just collected. I was just like, I need those little circular pieces of cardboard.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Greg?
Since both of you got game systems, I'm gonna get mine now as well. Give me the Sega Genesis.
Yes, that's the only other one. I never played the Dreamcast. I never played OG Nintendo that much. Those are the three that hit our age group.
Oh no, that's the wheelhouse because if I would say like Sega Genesis was like most of our introduction to video games, and then N64 and Game Boy kind of like were right in the prime territory for that as well.
Don't be a piece of shit.
He's definitely your dog. That's for
I
No,
sure.
he was
want-
talking to
okay.
you, Greg. He's
Yeah.
not the baby.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
He gets in the laundry room because that door doesn't technically shut.
Does
He
being
just-
recognized when you give him the middle finger, like what that
Yeah,
means and stuff?
knows.
Okay, just make
Brett
sure.
brings up a good point. There's another one you could argue. It's fringe, but it's true. That's a really good point. I don't want to call it out, but he said the PS1, so I'd say it's off the board. But
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, Crash, Spyro, yeah.
We already have our game systems.
Yes,
though, so
agreed.
I think, yeah. Okay, I'm stuck between. There's the Josh picking the things he actually loves, but then there's also the Josh is like kind of winning a second draft in a row right now, and it kind of wants to hit.
Oh,
According
I-
to who?
I wouldn't worry about the second Josh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
fuck
wouldn't
you.
either. Yeah, pick
Yeah.
whatever you love, man. Come on.
Beast Wars.
Oh. Oh.
Do you even know, Derek? I doubt you know what Beast Wars is.
Is it? Transformers?
It's Transformers, but they're
Okay.
animals or dinosaurs.
I never got into Transformers till later in life,
Right.
but I know how crazily awesome they were.
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they were. If I remember correctly, it was like it was computer animated and stuff.
Yep.
It was on at like
Yeah.
8 in the morning and
Yep.
stuff. Some of those episodes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dinobot was the shit.
Yep.
Just saying.
He was a traitor.
But well, whatever. I was a Maximal fan anyway.
No, he
Sorry.
betrayed both fucking sides, Greg. Maybe you should go back and rewatch.
No. He betrayed the whatever. It wasn't the Decepticons. It was the God. What were their names in that one? I can't remember. But like
It's
the
all right, it'll come to
Maximals.
me.
Yeah, I will too. But yeah, no, that's a good pull, Josh.
I think they were still just the Decepticons.
I thought they were something else. Oh no, Predacons. They were
That's
the
it.
Predacons.
You're right. Okay,
Sid said Gigapet's better than Tamagotchi. Gigapet was good too.
that is a good pull. Derek,
Mhm.
you're up for your fourth pick.
I have 4 that I wrote down that I want.
Oh, good. All right,
This
This is
sucks.
good.
I'm gonna go with Super Soakers.
that's great call.
Oh,
And actually,
Ooh.
something that I should have been fucking thinking about and didn't. Like that is an incredible.
Like I
fucking
remember
call.
my dad bought us, me and Nico, these cool, dude, they were cool. They had the purple twist off, you fill it up, put it in. The gun was cool. And then there was another box. And Chip had bought himself the 3-gallon
that's amazing.
Dads are tight.
torched my
Dads
shit.
are
Yeah,
tight.
dude. I was like,
Yeah.
God damn it. Super Soakers was my childhood, man.
That's awesome.
We had the basement that had the sink that you could fill up in.
Oh,
So like yard
Prime.
in, out. yeah, yeah.
prime.
Ah,
Prime.
that's clutch.
Greg,
My last one is also something kind of related that I used to bring them to school and play with them at like lunch or whatever, like even when I
Knives.
had free time.
Switchblades. No?
No.
Okay, sorry.
throwing stars.
Beyblades.
Yes.
Oh, we were close.
Okay.
You were
We
close.
were
They
closer
were-
than we weren't.
Yeah, Beyblades.
Oh, we had so
Beyblades
many
were-
guys. Timmy cut his eye at gym class. Beyblades are banned.
Fucking idiot.
Oh no, I had a kid that like I went to school with that had like the arena, and he would bring it, and we would all bring our Beyblades and like customize shit like during it and stuff, and play with them and stuff.
That was a wave.
Like, oh, dude, it was such a wave, and they still make them too. Like you could like legit buy some at like fucking Target if you wanted to.
All right, my last pick is gonna hit some dopamine for some people. It is the Fisher-Price Great Adventure Castle, and I'm gonna pull it up so that everyone can
I
fucking
know
see
exactly what you're talking about. Oh my god!
And it is by
the
far
castle.
the greatest fucking toy ever
That's a good
invented.
one.
What a throwback.
Trapdoors, bad guys, good guys, cannonballs that shot out of things.
The trapdoors worked.
Yes.
The
Yes, they
cannonballs
did.
worked.
Everything worked. It was perfect. It was
Oh
the
my
perfect
God.
fucking toy. And the
What
Ninja
a
Turtles
callback.
also invaded the castle quite a bit.
April O'Neil got kidnapped or something, and you had to like take out Krang or something. I like it.
No, just the knights. That's
We still have that at my parents' house.
well,
It's
it goes
great.
for
That's cool.
$115 on eBay. So
I'm about to sell it for 65. Call it a day.
I
Oh
pick.
man. I know. Now I got 4 again because I just thought of another one. I took the athletic one with Super Soaker, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. I'm gonna get rid of that one because I still play with it and I feel like it's not there. Creepy crawlers, I'm old. Sid said that's a good one. Give me Bionicles.
yep.
Ooh, I did not get into those, and I wish I did because they were pretty cool.
Greg, when I tell you I used to have Bionicle parties where we would all dump all of our stuff out, and it was just genuinely, can you make the coolest character? So it was
Yeah.
honestly genuine. It was like Transformers. One guy made a scorpion. One guy made like a pterodactyl guy. It was cool, dude.
Yeah.
The other ones I had were Moon Shoes, Vortex Football, and Legos. But Bionicles felt more true to my childhood. Nico
Sure.
was a
Yeah.
Lego kid. The Vortex Football, I can still throw that over a mountain, so it's okay. Moon Shoes didn't work.
I had 2 ideas. One was Hot Wheels, just because like you know they were a classic, and then also Nerf
That's a-
guns.
If you would have
Nerf
taken
guns.
Nerf guns, I would have yielded.
Also,
Yeah, because I have a Nerf gun literally upstairs in my house right now because I
Just in
used it
case someone
for
breaks
Halloween.
in, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It's the bow and arrow one, you know.
he pulls the Nerf gun, and they're not threatened, but they're like, "This guy's way too cool to rob."
Yeah. Hold on. Whoa.
This
We
guy's
want
a
that
grown
gun.
adult and has a Nerf gun. This guy
Yeah.
kicks
It was
ass.
the
Absolutely.
Vortex whistling football too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. I
But
like that.
Bionicles, dude, I just had to take my own pick. Like we would make Bionicles and make them have tails. So we would make these scorpion. Oh, it's so cool.
My
That's
my last one I did not get to pick was lightsabers.
Big.
Oh, I didn't even think
Nico
about
had Darth
that.
Maul. I had the green Obi-Wan, and we would fight.
That was
I had
my
the bl-
that was the
I had the blue one, yeah.
that was the cool Jan moment that you kind of were talking about, where Chip had the bigger Super Soaker. Is we
Yeah.
all got lightsabers the one year for whatever, and my dad just showed up in the backyard in a cloak with the Count Dooku lightsaber, and we were just like, and like
That's
as a
cool.
kid, you're like, there's a real fucking villain out there, like we gotta
not?
go.
We got to do this right
He
now.
defended 4 of us single-handedly, and the welts lasted for weeks. But it was still one of the coolest moments of my childhood.
That's amazing.
One toy I'd recommend you guys check out that I wanted to take but didn't want to take. It's my favorite action figure. It was my favorite toy growing up. It's called Razor. It's a man eagle, so like a really jacked eagle. His sidekick is a weasel, and he has a shield and these throw things. It was a Make-A-Wish kids action figure. So when we were
Oh,
young, a Make-A-Wish
that's
kid was like,
cool.
I want to make an action figure, and my mom bought it and told me the story about it. And I played with this fucking jacked ass eagle in blue jeans every day. So
It
his
was in
name's
blue
Razor.
jeans? That's
Bro,
awesome.
it's called
Okay.
Razor. It's a Make-A-Wish Foundation KB toy action figure official. Sick.
That's cool.
Brett said they're great picks. Yeah, dude. Official as fuck. Yeah. So hey, another great show, guys. Brett, Bueno, Sid, thank you guys for tuning in. Mom,
Ralph.
Dad, love you guys as always. Ralph, yeah. Ralph, we now have somebody that can punt a football farther than me that has witnessed 2 Beers Deep, Josh.
Fantastic.
This is the first person that can punt something farther than me that has seen the show.
I'm honored that I know
I'm
him.
upset. I'm gonna go practice.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to the quads, I
Look.
guess.
I was sick in high school, Ralph, so
Yeah.
no big deal.
All right.
Great show, guys. Thank you, Brett. All right, Greg, Josh, another wonderful episode of 2 Beers Deep. By the Slice, Josh, is it actually back or is that just a commercial?
Yep, it's actually back. Wednesdays. or Tuesdays. I can't remember when we used to release it, but it's coming.
I think it was Wednesdays. We'll
Okay.
figure it out.
Whatever.
So this show will be available on Spotify and Anchor, and it will be up on YouTube with clips. We'll have everything going forward, and a lot of exciting stuff to come. I'm probably going to stream Harry Potter this weekend, so look alive.
Say goodnight, Derek.
Good night, Greg.
Night, Derek.